kana mwari wenyu adaro ngatitina mate kana mwari wenyu adaro ngatitina mate kana mwari wenyu adaro.
Zisinei Moria Zimbabwe ndo zvinoitaka. Thank you so much. It's 9 minutes after 10 my time here in the United Kingdom. This is the Men's Corner show where we discuss a lot of issues that are happening on the ground in Zimbabwe, looking at the politics of Zimbabwe most of the time. May I take this opportunity first and foremost to thank my brother DJ GV3 for taking care of business last week during my absence. Thank you so much, my brother. I know now that if I'm not here, I've got someone who will come in and just hit the ground running and do even better. Thank you so much. Right. Like I said earlier on, I was one of the people that was shocked. Basically, people sending me videos and messages that, oh, did you hear the news that Pastor Ivan is actually landed in Zimbabwe? So, really? Really? And I went to check around and see what was going on, and only to realize actually it was true that the pastor decided to go back to Zimbabwe. But I thought I was the only one who was shocked. But calling around people, asking people on Facebook, WhatsApp, and all the like, and Twitter, people were surprised. And it was a surprise really to see him going back to Zimbabwe after he left 6 months ago, fearing for his life and also fearing for the life of the family as well. But upon arriving in Zimbabwe, we are told that he was arrested straight away and is still in as we speak. Now the question comes, why did the pastor decide to go back to Zimbabwe? One might say, well, this is his country, he is allowed to come back. But as things changed, you know, from August to last year to where we are now, that he felt it was safe for him to go back to Zimbabwe. Some people are saying maybe this is a man who has now gave his life to the cause and go back there and fight the bull by his horns. But some people are saying, well, there is something underground that we might not know. Why the pastor decided to go back to Zimbabwe? Who knows? Why is the pastor in custody? Why was he arrested? We thought maybe, when he was arrested, it was thrown out, by the courts. So, why is he arrested now? This is the question. I know that the constitution of Zimbabwe says 48 hours, someone has to go to court. So really, from my calculation, the court should be there tomorrow. He should be in court tomorrow, unless maybe the police ask for some more time to question him. Then maybe we'll be talking Saturday or even Monday. But anyway, for those that want to participate on the show, you're always welcome to call in and participate. But meanwhile, I've got Sally here with me and Sekuru. Sally, welcome to the show.
Good evening, DJ Sodza. Welcome back. And thank you very much, DJ GV3. It was a fabulous show. Congratulations and well done. And good evening, Zimbabweans, wherever you are. Good evening, my Sekuru.
Lovely. Sekuru Maswera Sego.
Akwira kuti wakwirawo muzukuru wangu.
Taswera zvedu kuri Sego kunobviwa konasi.
Chando chiri kungoti ngwangwaudza ichichembera.
You don't sound as energetic as you always be.
No.
What's going on?
Kana makore akaita grey, chero pfungwa dzinongoita grey.
Okay.
And you're younger than me, what is your problem?
There's no sunshine here. It's grey.
Listen, the sunshine don't matter. Sunshine makes you old.
Do you know what happens when there is no sunshine here?
What
not
happens?
Not even the birds sing. Nothing. It's just the
The birds do sing. I was in England
Sound
in
of
winter.
nothing is happy.
Okay.
Because you make yourself unhappy.
All right. Thank you so much, Sekuru, for being here with us. Mukanya, welcome to the show.
Makabiko DJ, how are you, Sally? Makabiko
I'm
Sekuru.
Mukanya.
Dokuno makwira miti zvakamira sei? Zvakamira sei kone zanu?
Hai basi zvakati kwezu timanyuturao. Chite zvematongerwo enyika isokotaura.
Neutrality is impossible. Makajoiniswa namoyo.
No, it's not.
All right.
You have
Okay.
to start a fight, Sekuru.
Right. Jisne, I think we got to kick on here. Maybe can I start with you, Sally, there? I don't know, what's your take on all this, why the pastor decided to go back to Zimbabwe? I know some people might call, I know people called in, people like Baba Dikonto and, Chief Sose, they have got their questions. Why the so-called activists, they're saying that they've got some evidence that maybe these people are actually ZANU-PF trying to neutralize the vote in 2018. People are going as far as that. What is your conspiracy?
And maybe Mugabe is Trump. I don't know. I've got no conspiracy. I don't like conspiracy theories. I think they're very dangerous.
Right.
Why he's come back to Zimbabwe, as far as I'm concerned, he's terribly innocent. And I think this is the most foolish thing that he could ever have done. Because you know what? ZANU-PF is having a party. They've been waiting for him for 6 months. Okay. He is the one that they are going to use as the perfect example. This is what happens if you dare take ZANU on in a very neutral, and it wasn't even a ZANU thing. It was a calling for accountability, making the people aware that you got to hold people accountable. And now ZANU is going to, because we're coming up to 2018, eh? If Nikov hasn't cooked that biometric stuff well enough, okay, hey, they've got to cover base. Now we are going to make Pastor Ivan the example. And we're going to get the fear back again. And we're going to control the people by fear. So we can do what we like when 2018 comes.
Okay. That's what's going to happen. Sal, I'm going to come back to you in a second. I've just got a slight problem here. Chief Sose, are you with us there?
Yeah, I can hear everything, but it looks like you're not hearing me.
I can hear you now. How are you there?
The man in TJ or Faraday.
Yeah, even though your line is not very good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it keeps breaking up.
Oh my God.
Do you want to drop and I will join you in again?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will do that. Right. Okay. Whilst Chief Sose is sorting out his system there, Sally, you wanted to finish off, please?
No, I mean, I don't know what it is. People have grown up. I mean, he's been in Zimbabwe for donkey's years. He used to go out for conferences or whatever, okay? But he grew up in Zimbabwe. And you can't grow up in Zimbabwe, well, maybe you can, seems you can, without being aware of ZANU-PF's tactics, okay? Now, seriously, if I got out the country and after being threatened and being in jail for however long he was and all the charges that they tried to trump up, the last thing I'm going to do is go back after 6 months. I mean, these dudes have been waiting there with, those party things that go brrr, brrr, those things, and the vuvuzelas and everything, waiting for him to come.
Okay.
He must, I can only think that politically he's very innocent.
So Sally, I mean, a lot of people are saying it's either you've got a plan that you have spoken to the authorities in Zimbabwe and you know exactly what is going to happen for you to go and put yourself in there. That's number one. Number two, this is a man who has given his life for the country and he decided to go back home and fight in there. Number three, maybe this is a man, I don't know, who just have lost his mind, to go back to Zimbabwe, knowing exactly what is on the ground there. But anyhow, we will come back to you shortly. Sekuru, what's your take on all this?
On what? On Ivan Mawarire?
Yes.
Kuti aendere kuZimbabwe?
Yes.
Nokuti asungirwe?
Yes.
Well,
first of all, Sekuru, if you were Ivan Mawarire, what he went through and what he did, and then he said he is unsafe in Zimbabwe and is moving away, and that's it. And after 6 months, suddenly it is safe for him to go back to Zimbabwe. Would you do that, Imimi Sekuru? Would you dare?
No. I don't think I would have done any of the things that he has done.
Okay.
I wouldn't have left Zimbabwe.
Right.
In the first instance, because if he had become a politician, as he was claiming to be, that there is no need for him to explain his political mind, because the circumstances in the country demand that we be politicians and they talk about the politics of our country. So I don't think I would have, if I was in his shoes, I don't think I would have left the country. I would have left the authorities the option to deal with me as a politician or as an activist, and they show them that I was not afraid, and they show them that I was not going to run away from the treatment. Now, the other part now is that he has decided to return back to meet his fate at the hands of the same people that he said they were impossible to deal with. And they have shown him that they have not changed a single bit, so they've arrested him. And what surprised me was he appeared before the courts. After his arrest, he and the advocate Mawarire appeared on a video clip. Yes. Posting about being arrested as if it is a CV of some sort that he was against the regime. But the converse is that the boasting and the ability to take photographs of an arrested person chatting with the people is actually sent a wrong signal to the intended audience, because the number of people that are talking to me on social media are saying, I think something has happened between him and ZANU for him to be allowed to show off video clips of him being arrested by the ZANU
handcuffed and all that. Because Sekuru, Musungwa chaye ane cheni angatorwe video muchita like that. That funny business.
Well, this is the unintended effect that I'm talking about. That okay. The PR is boomeranged back onto the proponent, because as far as I'm concerned, that video tells a lot of things, because we know that people like Trangrai, Matuku, BT have been arrested. And if you try to take their photograph, you would be arrested as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what is so particular about this one, who is allowed to be arrested and show off that he has been arrested? Is it a message that the police are conveying to us that if you go against the establishment, they will arrest you and they will allow you to talk and tell others not to do it? Or is it part of a deal?
Did you see the I don't know if it was court guys or the cops standing in the background of that video?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw everything. It's all there for the person with eyes.
It's weird.
So as far as I'm concerned, Ivan Mawarire, the method or the PR team or his presentation of what he stands for has been severely dented by him being paraded as a victim, when others think, no, the victims of that regime don't get paraded like that. They get paraded with blood on the eyes and heads and broken limbs.
Right.
But he is parading himself in the chains of bondage.
Right, Seguru, I'm just getting some information coming through. Let me not say the names. This one is saying, thank you so much, DJ Sodza, for the show. Sorry, I cannot make it on the show, but here is my 2 cents. Ivan Mawarire was denied asylum because of his involvement in political activities in Zimbabwe. This is not allowed for refugees in USA. His organizing of a demo against Mugabe is the reason of the denial of the visa. Last theory, the guy is simply not informed. Now he is going to rot in a Zimbabwean jail. No one will care about him. That's the controversy I'm hearing right now here. But before you comment on that, we'll be back after 1 minute 30 seconds.
Pane mudzimai wekuzimbabwe wakarohwa nestroke kunyika yeItaly makore 3 apfuura. Vana chiremba vakadozama mhando nemhando yemishonga yakasiyana-siyana, asi hapana chakabatsira. Kusvikira vazoziviswawo nezvejuwenisi, chinwiwa chinobatsira kubvisa tsvina mumuviri. Chinwiwa chine mukurumbira wokuzora chirwere cheBP, shuga, cancer, nokuwedzera masoja anorwisa utachiwana weHIV. Kana muchida kutenga kana kuziva zvakawanda nezvechinwiwa ichi, munokwanisa kuchaya runare kuna Yvonne Mushore panhamba dzinoti +49 172 8570 313 kana Mr. Dankard pa +233 26 657 5487 kana vatete Florence Mukoti kuCanada pa +1 306 580 4475. Hunge mchida kunyatsoziva mashandiro echinwiwa ichi nemabasa acho. Munokwanisa zvakare kuvabata pa yvonne1985johannesglobal.com kuti muchinyatsoda zvakawanda. Kana hunge uchida kunge vamwe vanotengesawo mushonga uyu, vachaire runare naso.
Zimnet Radio, the people's choice.
Yes, kana muchinge muchidaka kutengeserwa mushonga wandiri kunzwa kuti wabatsira vanhu vakati kuti, you are free to call the lady and the representatives and they can help you accordingly. Now we are talking about the returning of Pastor Ivan Mawarire to Zimbabwe. That has shocked the nation. How can a man left Zimbabwe, then in 6 months time he's back there? But when he left in August, he was saying he's fearing, he's running away for life, for his life and his family. And how has things changed in 6 months for him to be safe to fly back to Zimbabwe? But I don't know hangu, a lot of things in terms of asylum. But even if you are denied a visa in America, would he have not maybe flew to UK, or maybe flew to maybe Canada or whatever, or maybe to South Africa for that matter, and claim there, or maybe to Zambia? Not necessarily go back to Zimbabwe. I don't know, maybe it's not allowed, but I'm just thinking, if that's the case, maybe it's case a 1+1. Why wouldn't he go to another country from the US if indeed he was denied asylum there? Now, Mukanya.
Wong.
Yes, Mukanya. Munoti kudini nyai Mukanya. What do you think is happened here?
Ndoda kutaka nekudispute point yataurwa nemunhu anyora uyu.
Aha.
I would deny you a refugee if you are a political victim.
Okay.
Saka, and there is no crime yakaitwa na Evans Mawarire which will make him not eligible for refugee status in the United States or Canada. Because he simply organized a demo. He didn't kill not anybody. He did not engage in military violence. It was a simple demonstration and a stay away. And Nomba Asungwa. Those are grounds for him to get refugee status, not even through United States. You can go through the United Nations, and then you will designate as a refugee. Either when the came to then any other country, gonna approach the United Nations, which was signed. So that statement does not hold water. Now, in a very dubious thinking about Ivan from the way he started his own thing. I have no problem with him running out of the country. Remember, even my political activists in Zimbabwe during the war, wakatiza wakaenda ku Zambia, vamwe wakatiza wakaenda ku Mozambique, vanhu vaitiza, but vaitiza vaine chinangwa of the agenda yavanoda kunoita ikoko. Saka kutiza away ku Zimbabwe kwandiri was not a problem, but the problem is akanyengera vanhu, and my statements akazotaura anorwadza ndekuti akati my number one constituent is my family. Kana waita zvepolitics kureva kuti iwe mhuri dzakwe wewe, mhuri dzedu dziri kusafa muZimbabwe, you don't care about your number one constituent. That's fine. Now akudzoka number one constituent dzake asiya either ku South Africa kana ku America, akuinda kuda kunotsvaga futi mari kuvanhu nesimbazi. Imari yashaika kwakanga ari muchinda. Saka this guy is a fake dude. As munhu wokuva very serious naye. I was reading Daily News chizanzi opposition leader Obed Gutu angachitaura whatever. These people, if they are serious opposition, but they should not waste time on this guy. This guy should be left alone. He's just a fake dude. He is just looking for his own fame. He's just one of those people like you. Agar kunoto nano zanui. Agar wina kunoto.
Muliswa.
He group and right now he is not gonna be arrested. This guy, ZANU PF will waste its own resources and money to do anything to this useless guy because he no longer poses any threat to anybody. So why would they waste their money and resources? They will just use him, Kanavachida, to see if people oppose us. We are a free and democratic country. This guy is just a loser.
Those are very strong statements, Sekuru, to say for a man who has been imprisoned there in Zimbabwe. We don't know what happened when he spent that night Arimomu Muchitokis, and even now we don't know where this guy is and what they are doing to him. And to come out and say those ones, Sekuru, yes.
So this guy, we don't know, and there's no need to know where he is. This guy is just a fake guy. Mujere machona imomo akaenda akabuda and akati hanzaitaura nevanhu kuma3 whatever. This guy knows what he is doing. If we are not careful, he will use Zimbabweans again.
So what is his motives, Mukanya?
He's making money for himself and his number one constituent, his family. Kana akada ku Zimbabwe katazo zoita mari. This guy, ndio vanhu vakafanana nyati yekuti kana muri muhondo anokutengesa, he doesn't care. These people, vanhu vakafanana nyati, vanhu vakafanana nevakomana venhari rebellion kumufombo base camp. This revolution, you always find these traitors and sell out.
Those are very strong words, Sekuru Mkanya. Thank you so much there. I know there's a lot of Ivan Mawarire supporters out there, judging by, and also there are some people who are very much against him now. One guy told me from Zimbabwe that he supported the pastor 100% when he was in Zimbabwe, when he started this flag campaign. But when the guy left Zimbabwe, it left a very bad test on other people there. That look, this guy's got the capacity of when things goes bad and the tough, when push comes to shove, he pick up his passport and run away and leave us in limbo here, and we haven't got the capacity to get out of the country. And really, we don't want to follow him now. This is some of the tests I'm hearing from Zimbabwe. But I don't know. There's a lot of support, especially in the diaspora. A lot of people saying the pastor is doing well for us. Mukoma Wilbert, Masura say. Were you one of the people who were shocked?
I think in this particular case, his return to Zimbabwe has been a surprise to most people, and most important of all, to Robert Mugabe himself.
Okay.
I don't think Mugabe expected him to come back. And the fact that when he arrived, the regime arrested him. They had no choice but to arrest him. Because after all that speech was giving about, these are the men of God who are worshipping somebody in God in reverse, after all that, he could not allow them to just walk in free. So he had to arrest him. But now the biggest problem the regime has, is they've got to find a charge. And it looks like they've drummed up the old charge, dug it up again, and are charging him with the same charge that was dismissed in the old magistrate last time by the magistrate. So you can see this is an act of desperation. And I think when people criticize him for leaving the country, those people, if they were sincere, they should now praise him for coming back. He is now back. That fact we cannot deny it. And in this particular case, I think his coming back has surprised the regime. And the regime doesn't know what to do with him. Because, first of all, they don't want to make a martyr out of him. And yet they cannot allow him to carry on. Because if he was to have more demonstrations, that will re-galvanize the street protests. Because let's face it, the cause for the street protests is still there. The economy is what caused the street protests in the first place. The economy is not improved. People are still living in abject poverty, and many people are dying even of simple curable diseases. That is the real fuel that is fueling the street protests. And I can tell you, the street protests, even if he didn't come back, we're going to restart. It was just a matter of time. It was just going to be somebody, a spark to start the street protest. So in this particular case, him coming back that's one of the sparks that is going to restart the street protests. And I think criticizing him for coming back is, I don't know. I mean, I have no information unless we see more evidence of him being given a red carpet to justify why we can say he has sold out. I cannot see from what he did that he is.
Right. Okay. Saka imemi murukutaura kuti this guy surprised everybody. I was surprised. So you think he surprised the government as well? They don't actually know what to do with him, whether to charge him or to leave him and all that. But hearing the tone from Zimbabwe that people felt betrayed, I know it's a big word to use, that you mobilize people and people are on the street, they're getting beaten and you run away. How are you going to remobilize those people again for the second time? Are these people going to believe you? This is the question.
I think it is a valid point, and I agree with people when they say he's running away, left them confused and angry and so forth. But the fact of the matter is he is now back. He at the coalface with the people. And that fact, even the regime itself cannot deny. So in this particular case, we can debate whether or not his going away was the right thing. But the fact of the matter is he's now back. And that cannot be disputed. He is back. And right now, he feared that he would be arrested, and he was arrested. So I think in this particular case, he could still play a very important role in pressuring this regime to implement meaningful change.
Okay, now
and we should not try to have a situation where we try to have a prescribed course where you have got to follow this route and no other route. He, at the time, at one point, he may have felt he was under pressure. He left, and then he came back. That is one route.
Okay, Mukama Gulbet.
Instead of getting from Bulawayo to Harare, we should not always follow the same route. We cannot always follow the same route.
Okay, Mukama Gulbet, let me just ask a quick question. Okay, Sally, could you go ahead?
That lady that he's in the video with, what's her name?
Advocate Maher.
That's right. Now, I have been following her because she appeared in a very strange place and I didn't understand why she had appeared there. And I've been watching her, and I'd say in the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, she has been appearing under this flag, the hashtag this flag. And I thought to myself, now that is really strange, because hashtag this flag disappeared, okay? It was all Jamuka and things like that. This flag had disappeared. And then suddenly it sort of resurfaced, and she was sort of the face of this flag. So maybe they had been talking in the background, I don't know. But it seemed, when I saw the two of them in that video last night, I thought, oh, there we go.
Right. Okay.
So maybe it's been arranged before.
It's been arranged before.
Seems to have.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Because otherwise, she knew that pastor was coming for her to be there at the airport, and also to get entrance to where the pastor was being held inside the airport. It's very, very strange, isn't it?
Yeah. You see, look, for me, that video just says that, because you can see they sort of huddled together when they're making that video, okay? And she's the one that's doing it from her phone.
Yes.
Okay? So, I mean, you can do that without drawing a whole lot of attention towards you, all right? And they were in a place, I don't know if it was when he was going to go before the court or something like that. So, I don't know. I mean,
No, sorry. I think that was at the airport, because from what I've been reading, he arrived there yesterday just before 5 p.m. Zimbabwean time. That's 3 p.m. UK time. And that video was going around 5 o'clock here in the UK. So I think it was imminent. Really, he just landed and this Fadzai was there. And she went to the room where he was detained. Which is very strange. How did she gain that entrance to get there?
Well, maybe she's going to represent him. She's on his team, okay? So of course she's going to have the ability to get to him. All right? And I think also
the law does not work like that.
Okay.
Those people
Mukanya, listen. If you've got the opportunity, like at the airport, there's stacks of people around and stuff like that. They're not going to make a scene at the airport. Okay? So maybe she just took that opportunity. But I think she's on his team. Okay? I think she's on his part of the representation, part of his lawyer team. I know that Nkomo is representing him. Okay, like he did. I think it was last time he was the lead lawyer, and I think that she is on the team, a junior lawyer, whatever. Okay, but I think she's on that team, so that's why she had. That's why she was able to get to him.
Right.
I mean, I honestly, I don't see him like Mukanya does. The man is too...
Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay, guys, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drop all of you. Please redial straight away. Thank you so much. Right. Hello, caller.
Hello, makadizve.
Tinofara makuswera sei kumkomo?
Ndi chemist wakoma makadizve.
Mukoma chemist munofara.
Oh my god, yeah. Like that. Ndofuna pa Skype. That's what I hate.
Yes, yaita mapinda manje.
Wakoma, I'm so interested in this story, and I'm glad that it's in good hands with the panel. Hello, Sally, how are you, my dear?
I'm very well, thank you, my darling. Oh, it's so good to hear you.
I'm so good. I'm so embarrassed, but I'm going to do it anyway, Sally, because I'm going to try to use my lived experience. I wish I had better experience than what that which I'm giving. I talk about that.
You see, this is the situation, Mkomadoni. It's not a laughing matter. It's a very important question.
No, but listen, they had to have that video. You got to have video for evidence.
This guy is fake, man. This guy is fake.
If I went back to Zimbabwe, Dommy, I swear I would have a video connected to me 24/7.
That is the first question. The second question is the flavor of the video. Inenge is glamour. It's not referring to the one. Mira chumbo interview panel. That, you know, I'm glad you guys are asking that question because I need kunzwa kuna Sekuru chesho. Sekuru muno ane huremu who I have high regard for. I really would love for Sekuru to address that particular point kuti dzachena mu Zimbabwe zvinomonzimira kuti wotora picture.
Tumboita video.
Hey.
Right. Sekuru, I'm sure you have addressed that, haven't you?
I think I have. I've said in those meetings that the positioning PR yaita boomerang back into his face. Because under normal circumstances, if you are an opponent of that regime, they get hold of you, They don't parade you. They bludge on you, and then you get paraded by the press. Wakubuda wakati to zimba.
I'm so sorry I missed that was the good my change. When they're
Right. Okay. Thank you so much. Ndikupa Tetuwe Mashoku mkana. Tetuwe Mashoku.
Hey boy.
Yes. Nyaya muri kuinzwa Tetuwe Mashoku yatinayo panapa. What's your 2 cents imimi nenyaya iri mudariri?
2 cents dzangu dzangosvika pa 5 cents.
Oh,
Saka
okay.
2 cents dzangu dzekutangira pakuti, you know what, things are not what they always appear to be. Kudos on him kuti akakwanisa kubuda akanoita regroup. That's what vanhu vari intelligent do. And word on the street is vanhu vangatry kutaura and discredit mavideos ake. His coming back could have been very well planned, and I think anticipated quite a lot as well. So, you know, for people kuti vashore kuti adzokerei, that's being short-sightedness. As for my political parties, they've got the right, yes, to try to discredit him. But I don't think I would look at it from that point of view personally. Personally, I would say, yawira mukaka aurasi mukaka nokuti wapindwa means if anything at times it actually works in your favor. Here is my scenario. Even ane following whether vanhu vakamuvengera this or that, people saw something that is very unique. Vakasangana naye muno states vese across the board, they say one thing: he's such a humble, grounded man, very humble. It doesn't matter kuti wasangana naye papi muri kuitei, he is very humble. And I think because of the way he carries himself and the way he believes in Zuzanotaura, there are also people out there who actually have thought, you know what, we can build something around this man. And he has earned and deserves the support yekuti aende ano contest if he is going to contest 2018. Saka, why am I saying my opposition parties shouldn't feel slighted in any way, form or shape? It ups the end, so to speak. You know, vanhu vanga vachifila kuti, you know, we like dogs chasing our tails and nothing really is coming out of this. People now are going to up their game, because he is going to make people come up their game. In the sense yekuti, people still see hope in him. He's very calm, he's not compromised, he's not tainted by monetary factors and so forth and so on. He's young, he actually understands vechidiki, you know what I mean? And humbleness wake, he can also come kunesu takura and kune vechidiki, and the message is very coherent.
Okay.
And if
now,
it is true,
taurei yandoti manye vanhu vacho vakawandisa itai gaga.
all right, my final point: if it is true zvatiri kunzwa kunzi ane pillars, very strong, not political, my lawyer pillars that he has been vari kumubatsira, if it is true, that is, handisi kuti ichokwadi, makuwa, if it is true, kudos to him. Let's give him a chance. Let's ngatimbomira kuramba tichingoti munhu wese ada kutry something tokanda matombo, but we give them a chance.
So you don't see any fishiness on the whole scenario of the unfolding of events yesterday?
Well, like I'm saying, and this corner fishy, because way before, I think about a month before he actually went home, one or two people had actually alluded to pane my lawyers who and my not activists, but old guard, let's put it that way, the old guards vanga vachiti, you know what, maybe he deserves a chance. And because paakauya and paakamboenda kunana UK, maybe akasangana nevamwe vanhu who actually saw that he was a genuine young man. So, and this, to me, nothing is suspicious. Hapana chaiti chandingati ndavhundika nacho chandandisina kunzwa mumakuwa already. No.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh God. Yeah. We're in trouble now. I've got lots of people waiting. Sekuru, pindurai zvenyu quickly.
Mzukuru wangu ndofunga ari kuti Ivan was not allowed to enter into the UK. This information. Akanza hawi because une macases ake akamboita ari kunoka. Zvokuti asitended. Isi tichiziva kuti une macases ake akamboita. I-public relations iri wrong. But however, I agree with muzukuru wangu kuti yes, ari kuitwa backup, ari kupromotwa nevamwe vanhu ari kuda kuita push in agenda, political agenda through him. Yavakatraya kuita push vari vega ikatadza kusumuka. So they wanted to use him for that purpose. But really speaking, zvimwe zvese zvavari kutaura muzukuru wangu, kana achida unogona kuzotibata ndogomudza zvakanaka. Ndakambomudza futi paakaenda unonzi Adusha. Kwashumba kuti uchenjera kuti unoitwa mislead nevanhu vasina information. Kana aida kuzotibata unogona kutibata nevesei.
All right, Sekuru. Batai makadaro. Ndoda kunzwa kuna mukoma Tawanda. I know you're there, but I want to go first kune vari pa, is it mobile number or landline there? Hello, Zimnet Radio. Hello, vari pa. Yes, iko koko makasimba here mko.
Aiwa takasimba makadini mimi.
Tinofara chise ndiwa moyo.
Ndina angu mufunge.
Nasi mafunga utifonera ne unknown number kuita disguise, is it?
Aiwa, no, andita unknown number. Unless it could have been accidental.
Okay,
no,
all right.
I don't do that.
Vamoyo, what's your take on Mawarire going back to Zimbabwe? Any fishiness there, or it's just the son of the of the country coming home where he belongs, where his Rukuvute is?
With international law, it is not possible to make somebody stateless. He is a citizen of Zimbabwe, and therefore he cannot be deported from Zimbabwe. And he has every right to enter Zimbabwe and leave Zimbabwe as he pleases. That is the international law. But when he is inside the Zimbabwe, he is expected to behave according to the rules and laws of that country, whichever country anyone goes into. And if he is deemed to have broken the law, he has the right to go before the law and be accorded a fair and just trial, which is definitely what is going to happen because it has happened to everyone else. Remember, we always say Zimbabwe is a constitutional democracy, and he is within his right. He will appear before the court, and the court will decide. He's not going to go to a military tribunal. He is going to go to a court. And then some people were saying, Advocate Mawarire, why was he there? Anybody in Zimbabwe, as soon as you are arrested by the police, you are entitled to contact a lawyer of your choice anywhere anywhere. And that is its law and it is allowed. So after arrest, if you want to wait for your lawyer, you can actually tell the police, no, please let's wait for my lawyer. And it's law that somebody has to do that. The police not allow that to happen. On the video side, remember the police and actually managed by very educated people. And they know what they are doing. In this case, if you requested a video or somebody came and said, no, we want to take a video, it's a psychological thing where if they had denied him, then it would have appeared like the police would have cared. That is, people know those are weird, those are bigger, and then, these people are not scared of anything. That's why they allowed him. whoever wanted to take a video, let him take the video, let him send the video, because the video is out there now. So what is going to happen is the reality now, as you will go to court with the video out there, then what? So this is very simple, and what is yes, why he went to Zimbabwe? Yeah, he's allowed. I mean, he's a citizen of Zimbabwe in the first place, and therefore, yeah, he's allowed to go in and out at will.
Okay, right. Vamwe batai makadaro. Regai ndipinde mchitoro for 1 minute, then toda kunzwa kuna mkoma mkoma Tawanda in 1 minute
A Zimbabwean lady suffered a stroke in Italy, and for 3 years there was no change. From medicine to medicine, she was introduced to Joannis, a powerful supplement that has many testimonies to date and has helped her to overcome stroke. Other testimonies include reducing high blood pressure, diabetes, reduces the aging process, cancer, HIV immune system boost, detoxification, and so many more. If you want to order the supplements, you can call Yvonne Mushore on +49 172 8570 313 or Mr. Dankard on +233 26 655 5487 or Sister Florence, a nurse in Canada, on +1 306 580 4471 to know exactly what to order regarding on the type of sickness or toxins which you need to detox. You can also visit our website on yvonne1985.johannesglobal.com to learn more. If you want to become a distributor of the supplements and make a lot of money, get in touch. Telephone calls are subject to location and the time difference.
Zimnet Radio, the best hits on the World Wide Web.
Ndoza Shinita, thank you so much there. Vadzokora makasimba here kwa America. Yeah, welcome to the show. I know we had a few issues there, but it seems to be sorted now. You're online, and I would really want to hear what you want to contribute tonight.
Thank you very much. I met Pastor Mawarire during the New York demonstration, which is one of the things that he's actually being charged with, according to what we've heard. He's a very humble man, and I'm so glad that he has decided to go back home and finish the struggle that he started. He's a Zimbabwean. He's welcome to leave, and he's welcome to come back. And as opposition, we welcome him into the struggle, into the trenches. He knows how it is in the trenches, and we definitely hope, or maybe I should say, I personally hope that him and maybe the people who invited him or who encouraged him to come back will ensure that he is not part of the problem, that he becomes part of the solution, that he becomes the unifier that the people of Zimbabwe want him to be. Because as it is, we are having problems with the opposition itself, we are having problems with the citizen movement themselves. So if he comes and tries to divide what is already there, divide the opposition maybe that was about to unite, then it's going to be very, very unfortunate. And just to add on to that, I know people are surprised as to how everything unfolded. And we are also still surprised. 2 days before Pastor Mawarire went back, we had already information that Mawarire was going to go home and he was going to be arrested and he was going to be released. So on hearing such information, I just thought, no, because we had heard before that he was going to go home. And then now, 2 days before, we hear such information and you just dismiss it. And then a few hours ago, I heard, oh yeah, he's already in Harare and he's been arrested. And you see him with Fadai Mahere, they're smiling, they're talking, I mean, I've never seen anything like that, a person being arrested and should I say, acting up like that. I'm sorry to say that, but that exactly is what it looks like, and that is what people on social media are saying. I'm only repeating. If people go on social media, they will see the comments that are being made, especially as to the way Father Mawarire came into the act, and then the way they were posturing, and then now, of course, he's in jail. But as I told you, I have reliable information that whatever is happening right now, they knew that it was going to happen. They know that they knew that he was going to be arrested, and they know that he's going to be released. So that's the reason why I'm being skeptical, at the end, and I'm just saying, let's hope you unify Zimbabwe like you did before. It's definitely the next 2 weeks or a month will determine, how Pastor Mawarire is going to help in the struggle. But I also sincerely hope that he owes the people of Zimbabwe an apology. He raised people's hope, and of course, when the heat was too much, he decided to leave the country and left the people hopeless. People's hopes were just shattered, just like that. So I think his starting point will be an apology to the people of Zimbabwe, and then the second point will be to try and work with all the concerned people in Zimbabwe in a good manner, not in a divisive manner. Thank you.
Mukoma Tawanda, I'm failing to understand one thing here. Can you explain to me, a novice in politics? You are telling me that Ivan was in contact with Zimbabwean authorities in Harare, and he told them that he was going to come, and he was told that you are going to be arrested and you are going to be released. This was all in the pipeline. These two parties were communicating. Is that what you are alluding to?
No. You got me wrong. I didn't say he was communicating with the Zimbabwean authorities.
So who told him that he would be arrested and consequently released?
The people in Zimbabwe, we have people in Zimbabwe who gave me that reliable information.
How do they know? How do they know how the police are going to act?
They knew that he was going to be released.
Released? How do they know that? Are they communicating with the police to get that guarantee that he is going to be released?
Well, this is Zimbabwe we are talking about. Everything is possible. Okay. Let's see what happens in the next 2-3 days. Let's see if he's not going to be released.
Incredible, ladies and gentlemen. Those are took it apart of Azimnet Radio Zimbabwe. We're just talking about the sudden, return of the pastor to Zimbabwe there after leaving the country 6 months ago, fearing for his life, taking his whole family to America. But anyhow, let me just read what someone was writing to. That one who was saying that there was a problem with visa issues, the asylum to America. DJ Sodza, the guy had a solid case for asylum, but one of the conditions for asylum at international law is that you should not be involved in political activities against the country you fled. You are only supposed to. I'm just reading what has been written here. You are only supposed to be involved in non-political activities unless a lawyer can dispute this. If anybody thinks that anyone in Zimbabwe will pay attention to Ivan Mawarire, that person is totally mistaken. Zimbabweans are intelligent people and they have brains. Mukoma Wilbert, you will make a better impact if you call for a demo than Ivan Mawarire today.
That's wrong.
That's
absolutely wrong. You can seek asylum in any country that you suit, and you can actually lobby. It depends kuti vanhu vari pama page api pama Facebook. Vanhu vari muma first world countries vamwenga vari kungotorwa maphotos every single day pushing their agenda against Zimbabwe. Amene mari dzacho hadzo kuti dzinosvika here kuZimbabwe kwachona. You are more than allowed to. You are even pushed to join my organizations anobatsira to liberate panika ma-dictators akaita samugabe. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Then someone is saying, DJ, I've got some very credible information that people might want to know, but please do not dare mention my name. We are hearing that Pastor is going to join Manyika of Build Zimbabwe. Has anyone heard about that?
It could be. It could be because here is why Manyika was based in the United States, and Ivan was here. And Maseko zangachimuva even ndo Maseko zangachimuva Manyika. So again, and if you look at both of them, very calm people, very grounded. And mind you, and this I've got inside of information. I have to clarify this point. And easy, I'm a psychotherapist and a nurse, and the politics, but it's something that I love, and I communicate with people by information, based and information. So everything that I'm saying, it's out of over dinner or over a glass of wine, people discuss. Not I'm on behalf of Ivan. Even if you mention my name, he doesn't know me from Didu Swat.
Yeah, the thing is, this Pastor Manyika formalized Build Zimbabwe into a political party, and it is believed that he is the one who has, persuaded Pastor Ivan Mawarire to come there to join him to fight the struggle. I don't know.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yes, I heard that as well. I heard that about a month and a half ago.
Dr. Manyika was on Studio 7, Voice of America yesterday, and I was also there. He was asked that question by Studio 7 DJ, and he denied knowledge of that. He was actually surprised that Pastor Mawarire was in Zimbabwe. But of course, that's politics. He could be, saying that when he knew very well that he was supposed to be there. But it would be very unfortunate if Pastor Mawarire decides to join forces with Dr. Manyika. I mean, those are the very things that we are saying, that we hope that he won't be part of the problem, because Dr. Manyika is a good friend of mine. We were together at the demonstrations together with Pastor Mawarire, but I'm a person who now believes, I am a person who sincerely believes that the parties that are there are the parties that we should work with. Of course, it's their democratic right to come up with another party, but it will be unfortunate, and it might just mean, the death of his political career. Mawarire, if he wanted to have a political career, if he decided to join with Dr. Manyika.
Mapati achona zvaawanda kudarika vanhu vanofana kujoina manje muZimbabwe ndo zvaakunetsa manje.
That is the question. Regai ndimbonzwa Sekuru.
Ewo.
Sekuru ko ya Dr. Manyika imakainzwawo here. Sekuru, it seems you've got some more information that you are holding behind there. Would you like to share some more information with us on what you think is happening here?
Inindiri politicians saka zvandinoita kandezvekuti kana vanhu vandichiita parapa iri pakufoma mapati ngavafome, asi ndoenda kutoziva kuti zvatanga nepi nekuti zvinogumira kupi.
Right.
Saka izvi zvana Mawarire kana aida kunoita politics ngaaenda anoita politics aone kuti politics dzoitwa sei.
You think he will succeed?
Kana nhunzi inomuteverera murinda makapana.
So Sekuru imimi chimbondiudzai kuti don't hold back here. Why would this man go back to Zimbabwe? I'm intrigued. It's just an intrigue.
Problem iripo mupolitics ndeyekuti vanhu vari kupinda mupolitics havasi kuti muZimbabwe mune vanhu vakawanda zvakadii. They look vakaita gathering yemafamily and friends inosvika vanhu 100 vachirumbidzwa vachinzi ndiye shasha yedu chichi, abva vafunga kuti ndochi yatova neZimbabwe mumaoko. 100 people havabetseri chero 1,000 people, havabetseri chero 2,000, havabetseri chero ukaita 10,000 hazvibetseri. The important thing is how will you sustain those numbers? Ndo zvisingazikanwi nevanhu maupstarts epolitics. Kana vachiona kana Mugabe akamira ozara vanhu kuma 30, 50, 60,000 boti unombozviita sei iye Mugabe? It's not Mugabe who mobilizes those people. It's his ground force inoita mobilized for him. The same applies ukaona Tsvangirai achiita 40, 20, 30,000 vachimuunganira. It's not Tsvangirai who goes and calls those people. Tsvangirai ane constituency yake inomobilize vanhu ivavo kuti vange varipo. No, kana Mawarire ada kuita zvechechi kuti chechi immobilizire ndo constituency yake kakabva namanyika wacho. Kana aida kuita chechi kuti ivaunganidze vototanga vataura nemapostori kwaJohani Marange nana unonzi ani wokwamwari uyu wedu wandakaudza kuti pati yako haina zvainotibetsera munyika medu. We need people vane vision yokuziva kuti muZimbabwe mune over 14 million people. Now, if you have got 10,000 electoral, that's nothing compared to the 14 million wasiripo.
Aiwa. Thank you so much, Sekuru. But you are agreeing that this man is going to be... What about that allegation to say that he knew that he was going to be arrested and then 2-3 days he was going to be released? How can someone say that?
Can you repeat that again?
No. What about these allegations that he knew before he flew out of America that he was going to be arrested upon arrival and then 2-3 days he was going to be released and a free man? How would he know that?
I can give you an explanation.
That's easy.
Because it's the myth of Zimbabwe. See, if we are going to inake as a politician, unofana mbosungwa.
Okay.
No, but not only that, DJ
I can explain this way.
His representatives, his lawyer team, okay, they can unofficially inquire what would happen if he came back. And then they will be told, this will happen or that will happen. Whether you believe it or not, what you are told, yeah, that's up to you.
Okay.
But also it's common sense here that if he goes to Zimbabwe, right now the government of Zimbabwe in reality does not have a case against him.
No, they don't.
So when he goes there, it's common sense legal sense that they would arrest him and you are supposed to hold somebody for certain days to prove your case. And in the first place, you will not be flight. And secondly, Evans Mawarire no longer poses a threat either to government or to ZANU-PF. So there's no reason for him to keep him in jail. That one is very common sense.
Okay.
Yeah, but DJ, I mean, when you are being arrested, I mean, Murumo yakatiza muZimbabwe achitya achitema, he actually broke down. But
Anakutiza Mosa, he is not a refugee. He is not a fugitive from the law. Akango Buddha no Buddha. He did not break any law. Saka anosungirwe.
The government is the same kind.
He actually skipped bail. Let me finish my point. My point is, he broke down crying. Akika jail, jail makaipao. Amusime kutokea. And then you see the same person achisungwa aine chain achisekerera asinakana kuchika. There's no shock, there's no disappointment, there's no fear. That's the first time I've seen someone getting arrested akita my facial expressions akadariwa. So I don't know, I don't understand. It's up to the people of Zimbabwe to decide what exactly was going on there between him and Father Mawarire.
But Mkoma Tawanda, what do you make of this Fadzai Mawarire arriving there at the airport, and how did she gain entrance to that room where this pastor was detained? Is that possible?
That's the very question we are all asking ourselves. How did Fadzai go to that place? Well, that place, you cannot go there.
No,
Fadzai was there.
because we are.
Hang on a minute, you people are all losing it, okay? The minute he is arrested, by law, he is allowed to have legal representative.
His representative is Nkomo.
It can't be Fadzai.
She might be on the team because she has been the face of this flag in Zimbabwe for about 2-3 months now.
No. Murugurasi, I lost you. Fadzai Mawarire, if you know Mawarire properly, Mawarire that I know, was a stalwart Sadupio politician. Baba Waki.
Conversation could dominate one speculation. Until one this is what happened, and these are the reasons we did this. This is all speculation, and really we can't have a conversation dominated by speculation.
Okay.
No. I'm not speculating that Fadzai Mawarire's father was a secretary in the ZANU-PF government.
Okay.
He was, but
no, not only that, he's also a former CIO. His name is.
So
why can't you get hold of Fadzai?
Let me finish.
Okay.
The other thing is, Fadzai is a lawyer with the Dube Manika and Watch, legal practitioners. So she has got access to those areas that are normally restricted to other people in her own right as a person. But add to that her connections with her father and the CIO and the state, she gets it even much easier.
All right.
And then they allowed video time.
And they allowed video time?
They do all that.
Of course, if you are a guy who had access, I can make things happen. But then the problem now is how is it being received? No question and now yadati kana nunzi azimuteveri kuinda kuita kwake kana kuita politician.
Sekuru.
Can I just say something there, DJ?
Yes, Mkoma Wilbert.
I think we are really missing the point here. Even the issue of Mawarire starting his own political party with whoever he wants, he can do that. And I agree, he may not get 100 people, but let's face it, even those parties that are established now, they started from somewhere with 100 people. So in this particular case, to dismiss Kuti will not get 10,000 people, because even those parties that are there now established, they started without 10,000 people. So in Zimbabwe, I think we have got to accept democracy means competition. Right now, there is no quality opposition. And therefore then...
Tiriko isusu tine quality. Isu tiriko isu tine quality. Toto kutaurira iko zvindo kuti. Toto kutaurira iko ndoti Wilbert Mukori ne chipati chako na mapastai. Amuna kwamunosvika.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You should not be saying kuti akuna kwanosvika. Regera rakadaro. It's not for you to say to them, you should not start it because
tatokuudza iwewe nana manyika wako nananvikira hamuna kwamunosvika.
It doesn't matter. Who are you to tell them to
so why are we wasting time on
why are you
munyika? We want something that is, I'm not obsessed, I'm just telling you, because you are telling us that we are not effective. I'm just telling you.
Okay, right. Batai Makadaro. Mkoma GV3 Masura Sego. It's getting very tense here. Would you like to... Okay.
kupinda chero kwada kupinda.
So that should not raise any eyebrows.
Zvava hapana kana ene tikufambirana nenguva. Saka vari kutaura kuti hanzi saka vaida kuti asuwire chi munhu asina mhosva. Munhu asina mhosva anogotsamwirei. Handiti kana usina mhosva hautsamwi unomboita neupenyu hwako kuti uenderere. Why is it vanhu vari kuponera vada kuti hanzi ngaatsamwirei asina mhosva?
Mukoma GV3.
Munhu hatina basa nayo. All we are saying is that politics the packaging of a politician inokushisa pane pamwe paunoenda tight, because at the present moment the pictures are not telling the story yomunhu ari kuda kuhwa nezano.
Tight akapinda kudhara sekuru munoziva wani. Saka achada imwe tight yei.
Okay. Mukoma GV3.
Yes.
So imimi you don't see any fishiness pamakanzwa kuti pastor wadzokera kuZimbabwe, there is no eyebrows. This is a man who's going back to Zimbabwe to fight his corner and that's it, or maybe going home.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Simple and straightforward.
So
ukana vanhu vese vari komenda negative chiti paka yoyo pati yako inowina iwo uri komenda negative tiwane kusungunura Zimbabwe.
MDCT
sekuri imbomira neyenyu mani sekuri
so okay,
you're brilliant.
hang on a second. Mukoma GV3, this is a pastor who left 6 months ago saying that he's fearing for his life in Zimbabwe. So things have changed so dramatically in the last 6 months that he feels now nice and safe there.
He wanted to take out his family from that country. That's all. He just I'm not going to discuss ndichafira politics. Anti akatoti rega ndiburise muri yangu vaende kuindodzoka ndoskorwa ndiri ndega.
Okay.
That was his plan. But zvimwe zvinhu hautaure use intelligence sana sekura vari kuti hanzi tinowina this time. Ndozvakaita chete saka adzoka manje kuzofaita muri yake iri uku inosara iri right.
Would you support Ivan Mawarire if he become a candidate for 2018? Would you cast your vote? Okay. All right. I'm sure Wamoyo will be happy to hear that. Wamoyo, what's your take on even casting a vote now in 2018?
The reason why let's take grand coalition, that is a grand coalition, because they know that when it comes to the individual parties, running weakens. That's why they are trying to combine so that they also become bigger. Not so that they will be hope that they will become bigger.
isu tiri vanhu veMDCT miandikuzi isi tiri vanhu veMDCT moyo wataura zvako isi tiri vanhu veMDCT no nyaya dzamunotaura munoataka ma-opposition politics directly kuti hatisi kuziva. We have beaten your doddering dictator into a pulp kakawandisa. And we are going to see another Jamie Mugabe gore rinoteverera.
I thought about that is in the 2018 next year.
Iwe chirega kuramba uchita ataki opposite wakati uri neutral kaiwe handi wakati auzwe zano. Saka chirega kuti igaro usati igaro zvaka uri neutral hauzi arisi shoko roshandiswa nomunhu ari neutral iroro.
Aiwa ninge kana munhu achinge ari neutral semusekuru haana chinhu chekutaura beside chokwadi.
Hachisi chokwadi because unoziva chokwadi chezvisati zvaitika.
Ninge sekuru chokwadi chiri pacho zvinonyatso ini munyatsoziva zvaitika. I mean you know that's why izvozvi muri kutaura kuti
I don't know. Andachiziva kuti Mugabe anowina ka hataita political party. We formed a political party because we know that Mugabe cannot win forever.
Sekuru kana mine almost 18 years experience of the same thing, and up to now you don't know. Sekuru amtuza zamurti.
Zani yauri kutaura iyoka spent more than 30 years. It spent more than 30 years. Isati yatombokwanisa kana kuzoganaiza kutsvaka futi. Ikazopedza 30 years ine futi ichirwisa nefuti. So what more of us?
Mkoma Sodza zvandiri kutaura zvinyorai pasi kana nchida. We'll make reference to it after next year.
Okay.
After my elections next year, people will know the outcome.
Jame wakaenda navamwe vanhu outside the country. Mugabe will not leave you behind.
Gushungu havaendezve kumhanya
Sekuru inzwa nyaya iri panapa kazi. Ndeya uyu Mawarire uyu.
Inimi muri kuataka MDCT. That's why I was
Mawarire.
Yeah, mukangwataka MDCT, I have to defend it.
All right. Okay.
In the first place,
Zimnet Radio.
Pane mudzimai wekuZimbabwe wakarohwa nestroke kunyika yeItaly makore 3 apfuura. Vana chiremba vakadozama mhando nemhando yemishonga yakasiyana-siyana asi hapana chakabatsira. Kusvikira vazoziviswawo nezvejuwenisi, chinwiwa chinobatsira kubvisa tsvina mumuviri. Chinwiwa chine mukurumbira wokuzora chirwere cheBP, shuga, cancer nokuwedzera masoja anorwisa utachiwana weHIV. Kana muchida kutenga kana kuziva nezvakawanda nezvechinwiwa ichi, munokwanisa kuchaya runare kuna Yvonne Mushore panhamba dzinoti +49 172 8570 313 kana Mr. Dankard pa +233 26 657 5487 kana vatete Florence Mukoti kuCanada pa +1 306 580 4475. Hunge mchida kunyatsoziva mashandiro echinwiwa ichi nemabasa acho. Munokwanisa zvakare kuvabata pa yvonne1985johannesglobal.com kuti muchinyatsoda zvakawanda. Kana hunge uchida kunge vamwe vanotengesawo mushonga uyu, vachaire runare naso.
Zimnet Radio, the people's choice.
Mhuri yangu nenyimi ndogona kupondwa mustreet Mawarire doesn't care. Nasi akuyada kuti supportwe nevanhu ivavo vasiri anoti their number 1 constitution.
Chere iye anogona ngopondwa futi mustreet.
Right.
Ndosaka adzoka.
Okay. All right, guys.
Number 1 constitution yake Trump anotati America is number 1. But uyu akati number 1 constitution yake mimhuri yake is not Zimbabwe.
Mukanya rekaiti kubate muromo. There's some very important message that has been sent to us here. One of our listeners and friends is not very happy and pleased with what we have done today and the contribution as well. He's saying that DJ Mazimba Ndasarenda, the guy Gushungo Watonge, we have egoistic mentality. We tend to devolve to lowest standards when discussing issues. Number 1, we base our contributions on assumptions, on insinuations, and or imaginations. Let's all calm down, have investigation. Mkoma Sodza arrange an interview with Mawarire or his legal team to come on the show and explain everything rather than this assumption. All we are doing here is spinning the issue, not mentioning the name there. What do you want to say about that?
Brilliant.
In that point, I think we are not worried about we are not in Mawarire's heart. We don't know what he's doing and that kind of stuff. It's also what we are just saying there. Inini ndinonzi nhasi kuuya kupati uzoita zvakati munhu andikurudzira kuti ndiye anotaka kunditiza ondisiya ndiri ipapo after nguva ozodzokazve ozoti ngatisimudzire futi manje mozoita here. We don't know, he could be a patriot, hakuna anoziva zvaari ende zvaanotsanangudza chokwadi here, but that's beside the point. Munhu wekuti kana hondo yatanga anotiza ombonodzoka odzoka kuma ngachipinda kuforotirwe ndo zvakangondirwadza weni kuti isu vanhu vafunga kuti hope paakaita stay away iya yese iyaya dai akaramba akasafa nevanhu zvingadai zvakafamba mushe.
Okay. Mukanya ndatenda zvangu necontribution.
I'd really like us to get hold of that lady, okay, because she has been making videos under this flag hashtag, okay? So it seems like she was the face of this flag. So I'd really like us to get hold of her and have her on the show.
DJ vanogona kumuconnecta ano wheels.
Fine. Okay.
Let me just say one.
Okay. Let's.
Muchindata anyora izvo zvaataura.
Yes.
Anyora zvinonakidza muzukuru wangu iye. Chaasingazivi ndechekuti vamwe we are not speculating because nyaya ye-third force guy haizi nyowani, yakatanga kare iri kungoramba kusumuka nokuti shaikwa nyanzvi dzokuisumudzira. Saka kudai ko pamwe vavo vaiwana.
Okay. All right. Mkoma Tawanda.
Yes. Yeah, in responding to the gentleman who wrote what he wrote, and in also trying to warn the people, I want to say, the Zimbabweans, let's open our eyes. Let's go into 2018 with our eyes wide open. It is a fact. It's not an assumption that the opposition in Zimbabwe is heavily infiltrated by ZANU-PF. And it is also a fact. It's not an insinuation or that even the citizen movement in Zimbabwe are heavily infiltrated. And if I had time, I was going to chronicle what some of these citizen movement or leaders have done that suggests that they could also have been heavily infiltrated by ZANU-PF. In 2013, lest we forget, one Mawarire was used by ZANU-PF to instigate elections to be done early when the opposition was not ready. And we all know the result. And ZANU-PF is smart. It has smart people within them. I mean, these are smart people. They can come up with something again. So what I'm just warning the people of Zimbabwe is, let's open our eyes and look at everything and see everything that is happening, that is coming on now.
Okay. Thank you so much. Vamoyo, what's your take on that? He was on point, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yes. In a way, yeah. He was close enough.
You're not giving him any credit, Mkoma. What's wrong? Hanziregai kutaura zvinhu zvamusingazivi. Daidzai Ivan auye pashow kana marepresentative ake auye pashow wataure kuti why he had to go back to Zimbabwe rather than speculating and talking what you're saying.
Crap.
Well, basically that's what he said, but I didn't want to use that word.
Sekuru is very invigorated.
After he is off topic, he is off the mark completely. Because we cannot say people cannot debate issues. I mean, the reason why these things go on social media or newspapers is to initiate debate within the populace. And when we are doing this, we are actually debating the same matter. And we are within our rights to do that. What he is suggesting is maybe just one of the methods that can be used to enhance our debate. And it has not inside the guest to be on this show. I mean, the newspapers were still saying that appear on newspapers and all that. So I think he's trying to trivialize Joshua Mkoma, which is not the right thing. I think we are within our rights to debate anything at any time as we wish.
Okay.
No, use of the point completely.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Just one question.
Okay.
Kana vachiti opposition iriko MDC ndizo chayakazone how come mavawatiri vacho has taken the shine MDC? Izvozvo MDC has gone into the backyard, is now the second disciple to Mawarire, who is taking the shine. I mean, how does it say that?
Question yako, very good question. Very good question. Mawarire had a choice to go to the dustbin of politics or to become relevant. He has chosen the dustbin. Thank you.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. Tetoe mashoko. Mazvinzwa zvanyorwa namamwe Mukoma. Mune comment here on that kana kuti you want to say something, different to that?
I had said it before he said it. Initially, it was very constructive until people started speculating.
Mm-hmm.
That aside, I'm going to push the envelope and say this. Musandituka vanhu ndachembera kuti ndiri tukwe nevanhu after saying this. Keep it to yourself. Kuna baba wangu Dziva Save. You remember pavakatiza vakaenda kuBotswana. Nobody actually, or very few people actually sat back kutivati. What really transpired with the people that he had around him? Nekuva so resilient the way he was. What really happened kuti vasvike muBotswana? When you are caught in a moment, ZANU-PF is brutal. Kune vakamborara kunana Chikurubi, not Chikurubi, Briside, vakambotorwa kunana Mazowe. Just have a conversation in Nabo, and they will tell you exactly the tactics those people used. You go bananas, I'm going in the grips of those brutal men again. The first thing that you would think is self-preservation. Self-preservation could protect iwe. And secondly, to regroup. Not kuti munhu anenge ari stupid, he is a coward or anything else. Self-preservation against a brutal system. Chinchinondi about ZANU-PF. We trivialize vanhu vakaita sana Baba Moya. We trivialize ZANU-PF painorova vanhu. Within minutes there'll be my jokes, my memes going around by Facebook. Vanhu vachijoka kuti ningi zvakati, and nobody really sits back and says, is this right? Why are these people doing this? Even Mawarire, kune vanhu vakamutarisa. You didn't need to have any psychology topic or degree to see kuti munhu uyoya, he was tormented those few hours in custody. And the first thing that comes to mind when you are faced with a dictator is again self-preservation. So the question then should be, how safe are these people vachona vanenge vabuda kuti vatry kutora Zimbabwe? Because they're not doing it for themselves. They want to liberate a country against a brutal Nankire machinery, iri well oiled, but financially, my resources they could train and so forth. So, when people trivialize and not really get to the core of why did he leave? Why is he back? What is he going to do? How can people help so that my elections, and they have every right man's going on,
atete mutadza mapoint aripo ndeyekuti iwo unoisa vanhu mumatrenches aditi vanhu vane mafeelings just like you, vane mhuri just like iwewe. Vanhu vakatouraiwa vamwe vakaita sei, woti vanhu hende ichinyorwa, the first thing you face a real trouble, you run away, you leave your people vakamira uko.
Mukanya, you've got the whole thing. You see, this is where people really get everything wrong.
Yes.
Okay. Pastor Ivan never started out, I'm going to have a movement and I'm going to sit and talk about the flag and then everybody going to follow me. And no, he didn't. And this, you see, this is what Tete Shoko is saying. Just seriously think, okay? This guy came out of nowhere. All he did was making a video, okay, about how he felt, okay? He never held the gun and said, right, everybody, you've got to follow me. People clicked on that video because they wanted to. Then once they'd heard what he had to say, they could either put the video down and say, futsakwena, and not have anything more to do with him, or they could choose to follow and carry on. When they came out for that demonstration, you're forgetting something very big. They hadn't been paid, okay? As soon as the money was paid, oops, there were no more people. So, whether he started that demonstration or not, for me, is a 50-50, okay? He didn't go out to start that demonstration, and he never ever held a gun at anybody's head. It was their choice to click on that video and watch it, and it was their choice to follow him, and it was their choice if they were going to go out on the street.
The problem with the politics is politics need a leader. When somebody becomes a leader, he becomes a leader because the people resonated with what the person is saying.
The people believe in him.
Yes, but
So,
Sekuru, he never put himself out to be a politician. He never even put himself out to be a leader.
Can I just finish? The people don't go out in the street and say we are politicians. The people say something that is political. Like Murikufa nenzara nokuti Mugabe ari kuuraya nenzara. Kakuti mapoto ari Mawarire, it's because of Mugabe's government which is stealing money from your rates.
No,
so
that's
people
not
become
politician.
angry. People become angry about that because it resonates with what they are feeling. So when they do see a person who can voice their concerns, they say this is the man to rally behind. Let's fight this. Now, when you now join forces with that person and the voice becomes louder and louder and louder, you become obsessed in that particular person. So automatically what happens, if that person is withdrawn for one reason or another, you feel the vacuum. That's what Mukanya is saying. Mukanya is saying that vacuum.
That's not Pastor Ivan's fault.
No,
it's not his fault. It's not his fault.
That's his fault. Sorry, here's what happened.
No, it's not.
Nobody's born a leader. People become leaders by situation. Nobody just got now today this one is a leader. People become leaders by situation and they create leaders. Now, if he doesn't want, you could be right, but now he's back. So Zimbabwean, this guy
is back
for himself.
Because somebody is going to use fresh meat as a cannonball. That's as cannon fodder. That's exactly why he's back. Because somebody, okay, who's a politician, not a Sekuru politician, I'm talking about a politician, has filled his head with a lot of wonderful, brilliant ideas, okay, which is what he wants, what he believes in or whatever, okay, and now they are going to use him as cannon fodder because he's
right. So the Zimbabwean people should just ignore him right now.
No, you don't ignore him. He's done nothing wrong to anybody.
Yes, but he can't help us. I mean, he has done nothing wrong, but he can't be helping us. He's not somebody who can run away at any time. He did not ask to be a leader. So just leave him alone.
Why must you leave him alone?
Because you said he doesn't want to be a leader.
I never said he didn't want to be a leader.
Yes,
I said when he started
out, to be a leader, then
he started out, he had no idea he was going to be a leader. It wasn't his ambition to be a leader.
Useless. He should be removed out of there.
Okay. All right.
Leave him alone.
Okay.
Let them support him. him if they want, but they must realize he's a human being just like they are. He's not a god and a superhero or whatever. He's just a human being like they are.
That's good.
So
just leave him alone.
Tawanda aripo here.
Yeah, varipo seko.
Aiwa, because hamusi kuteerera zviri kutaurwa naTawanda. Tawanda ari kuwirirana neni zviri mupfungwa mangu kuti tumwe tumapoliticians kungonyuka kunge howa. Ngatimbomira kungonyuka kunge howa hwechihombiro hwamera mvura yanaya. Timbodzura nyaya
yechi.
Ya, ngatimbodzura nyaya yezanu. Katabvisa zanu kozonyuka zvako tupolitician because toziva kuti vanhu vese havasi kufara. Havasi kufara nezanu, havasi kufara neopposition iripo, havasi kufara nechine zviri kuitika muno. But our major opponent at the present moment is a system that doesn't allow us to develop our ideas any further than Mugabe.
Ndokumbira kubatai muromo. Sorry. Ndokumbira kubatai. Imbomira, last week we were here. Andradzi yangu kutawanda. Bamukanya. Anchaziya kuti I think Bapebe. I think he wasn't there last week. I don't know. For weeks we have been hearing Nera. People talking about Nera. Then somebody did chime in. You are suing each other and so forth. Let me tell you this. Nasi. Until as leaders you understand what we don't want to hear is masquabbles enyu. We want somebody who comes with a clear-cut message. We want leaders who are cohesive. We want leaders with messages that are liberating. We want messages that are people are fighting for positions. We are tired of hearing.
Right now, in Zimbabwe, there are two political parties. On merging those two, kuti vasvike mukada kungoti utu twamamutsa utu hazvina kwazvinokusvitsa iyo those two political parties dzikabatanidzwa dziri mbiri ndo advice yandikatope maZimbabwe at this time.
Right. Mukoma Tawanda.
Yes, I think this will be my last word. I just to remind all of us here, all Zimbabweans listening, that 2018 is not going to be about anyone. It's not going to be about Mawarire. It's not going to be about empty guy. It's not going to be about Zimbabwe. It is not going to be about anyone. It is going to be about the people of Zimbabwe. And if all the opposition parties and the citizen movement do not see sense and come together and fight ZANU-PF as one, then we as the opposition and the citizen movement themselves might as well keep, ever coming to the helm of Zimbabwe goodbye. Because if we don't...
Those are kind of Gambia, exactly the kind of Gambia.
In 2018, if in 2018 we do not unite, then we are done. ZANU-PF is going to sweep to victory. So my appeal to Mawarire and the citizen movement leaders and all the political parties is let's find a way of working together. And I sincerely hope that in the coming of Mawarire will be, part of the problem. Thank you.
Okay, I know Zangu Kuti line Ramkoma Tawanda was kind of cutting off, but okay.
People might learn.
No. Hold on, Mkanya. Mkoma will go ahead.
Yes, I think I've read a lot of passionate speeches about what 2018 is going to be all about. 2018 is about free, fair, and credible elections. If we don't deliver that, even if the oppositions are united to form one party with one candidate in every constituency, from parliamentary, senatorial, and council, if ZANU-PF can rig the elections, they will still rig the elections. So I think people are missing the point here, and I would like to emphasize again this point of some parties dictating to everybody else what everybody else should do. That is not democracy. Democracy means there is no limit. Even 1,000 parties, let there be 1,000 parties. Here is not so much the parties that is, what party is going to be effective. You know, that people in the government will be able to.
Rigging inoitwa kana paine system iripo ende kune rigging inozonetsa kakuita. You see, the problem iripapo ndeyekuti chamunofana kuziva ndechekuti hakuna party iri so infallible, and you can only rig so much. Vanhu vakasabatana vakati isu tiri ve-opposition party ende tinoda kuita zvakati, you cannot have free and fair election kana musina pasina a credible opposition yekuita zvanyana zvive sustainable. But zve-rigging it zvinogona kuovercome kana ma-opposition akamira and try.
2 weeks ago there was a by-election in Bikita West, and you could you read articles, you could see on the internet or on the news, leaders like Shuvai Mahofa telling the people that if they don't vote for ZANU-PF there will be trouble. That is intimidation. That is the kind of thing we are talking about here. If you've got a relative list, if you spoke to them or you would tell them, in uncertain terms, you've got to go and vote for ZANU-PF or you'll be in trouble. That is the reality. That is the kind of vote rigging we are talking about. Not some other vote rigging.
But that reality can be overcome.
If you don't address that, there's no way you're going to win the elections.
Right.
I will bet.
I will bet. The total was less than 20%. They fielded one candidate, he would have still lost. So what are you talking about?
Mzukuru wangu will bet. Ku family kwenyu mune family group pa WhatsApp.
Just say what you want to say, Soguru.
No, I'm just asking because it's very important.
Just say what you want to say. What relevance is that?
If you have got that group, you can also use it to tell the people kuti kana vanhu votibirira kasoka mundoita sezvizvi. Pane kuvaudza kuti kana mukasavhotera ZANU munorohwa. That then gives an impression kuvanhu vari vulnerable kuti hatina protection. But if you give them courage, say kuti kana mukange muri family kudai mukaona munhu akuuya pakati penyu achida kudivhaidha nenyaya yeZANU.
Atidi kuyera nyoka negavi. 2013 ZANU-PF rigged the elections. Why didn't you stop them like rigging the elections then?
We did.
You stopped them. Are you saying you stopped them?
We stopped them from rigging the elections.
So the elections 2013.
It's only unfortunate. Let me put it this way. It's only unfortunate the powers that announce my election results. Vanhu vanofana kunge vari independent, but ava announce my correct results. So those are the ones we are targeting now. But the more important thing yandoda kutaurira kuti nyaya yako yekuti election inofana kuva free and fair tinowirira nazvo kuti. But however, in this whole world, elections anongomeasuriwa necredibility chete. Zvokuva free and fair sometimes it's not there. It's neither there nor there, not there. If you look at America, iri kukomplaina kuti Trump akashandisa Russian influence. Zvatopera zve-free and fair kana zvangodaro. You look at anywhere.
Can I just comment on that point alone? If you are going to tell me the kind of rigging that Mugabe has been doing in Zimbabwe is anywhere near what was Africa or Britain or anywhere else, then we are talking at cross purpose here.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is zvekuva free and fair ka sometimes it depends on the degree of the unfreeness and the unfairness. That is what material consequences. One other thing yandiri kuda iri very important ndeyekuti rigging is not limited to the systems that you have seen kuzanu chete yokuhikidzira vanhu. Rigging also inoita extend kune zvakaita Simba Makoni handiti muna 2008 yokunzi awina mavhotsi asina kuwina. That can be sorted out one way or the other in the straight away by just fielding one candidate opposition. Then mavhotsi anonzi akawanikwa na Simba Makoni hachinawo kupa either otopuwa iye mugabe wacho kana kuti hapo.
Right, okay. Sekuru, thank you so much for your contribution. Mukoma Wilbert, thank you so much. Mukanya, thank you. Teteo Mashoko, thank you. Sally, thank you. And all those that have participated, Wanam Kanya and Wanam Koma Tawanda. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on. And for those that were participating, kusaidu kunyorera ku WhatsApp and also ku Skype and all that. Thank you so much, guys, for a wonderful show that you gave us. We'll learn from that. We'll see what we can do next week. Hopefully, there will be more clarity of actually why the pastor has decided to go to Zimbabwe. If we can get hold of his representatives there, we will endeavor to bring them on the show and hear it from the horse's mouth. But meanwhile, it is midnight here in the United Kingdom and we shall call it a day. Please do take care of yourselves and your loved ones. It has been a pleasure as always. My name is DJ Sodza. We'll meet again on Thursday next week. Have a wonderful weekend. For those that are going to watch the football at Stamford Bridge there, my only wish is for the referee not to give any Arsenal player a red card. That is my only wish. Thank you so much. And also, may I also...
You know what happened at the rugby game? A white guy in Harare went dashing naked across the rugby field.
May I also take this opportunity to wish good luck to the Cameroonians and also the Egyptians when they meet in the Africa Cup of Nations on Sunday. May the best team win there. We shall. I hope Cameroon wins. But anyhow, I know people have got their favorites there. But there you have it. May the best team win. Ndokusirai right. Tumbotengesa mchitoro first. Then after that, tokuroiraika Sifas Mashakada Basa Ndaziada Pesa, the job we've done at it. So we'll meet next week. Goodbye.
pane mudzimai wokuzimbabwe wakarohwa nestroke kunyika yeitaly makore 3 apfuura. vana chiremba vakadozama mhando nemhando yemishonga yakasiyana-siyana asi hapana chakabatsira kusvikira vazoziviswawo nezvejuwenisi, chinwiwa chinobatsira kubvisa tsvina mumuviri, chinwiwa chine mukurumbira wokuzora chirwere chebp, shuga, kensa nokuwedzera masoja anorwisa utachiwana hwehiv. kana muchida kutenga kana kuziva nezvakawanda nezvechinwiwa ichi, munokwanisa kuchaya runare kuna Yvonne Mushore panhamba dzinoti +49 172 8570 313 kana Mr. Dankard pa +233 26 657 5487 kana vatete Florence Mukoti kuCanada pa +1 306 580 4475. hunge muchida kunyatsoziva mashandiro echinwiwa ichi nemabasa acho, munokwanisa zvakare kuvabata pa yvonne1985johannesglobal.com kuti muchinyatsoda zvakawanda. kana hunge uchida kunge vamwe vanotengesawo mushonga uyu, vachaire runare naso uno.
Zimnet Radio, the people's choice. Radio.